With the passing of former President George H.W. Bush, media coverage has portrayed him as a heroic patriot. Let's examine another aspect that hasn't been covered. I'm Robin Kinderman, and you're watching JBS Straight Talk. This past week, the country honored and remembered the passing of the 41st President of the United States, George Herbert Walker Bush. In addition to being president from 1989 to 1993 and vice president for 2 terms under President Reagan, he also was chairman of the Republican Party and the CIA director. Despite some gaffes here and there as a president and a broken promise about no new taxes, Bush's most enduring legacy is perhaps his campaign to repel Saddam Hussein's invading Iraqi army from neighboring Kuwait in the Persian Gulf War. In all of the media's replay of past clips, one that you probably didn't see were his cryptic remarks announcing the war from the Oval Office on January 16, 1991.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
President Bush Sr. was a firm believer and advocate of a new world order. In addition to the Gulf War and endorsing the UN, he also pushed for a North American Union. Although it was President Clinton who ultimately signed the NAFTA Implementation Act in 1993, it was Bush Sr. who spearheaded the negotiations and promoted it during his re-election campaign. In a eulogy to the late president, former Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney said, "President Bush was also responsible for the North American Free Trade Agreement, recently modernized and improved by new administrations, which created the largest and richest free trade area in the history of the world." Of NAFTA's role in the New World Order, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger wrote in 1993, "What Congress will soon have before it is not a conventional trade agreement, but the hopeful architecture of a new international system." Kissinger further explained that a regional Western Hemisphere organization dedicated to democracy and free trade would be a first step toward the New World Order that is so frequently cited but so rarely implemented. What Bush Sr., Clinton, and Kissinger started, we are now seeing come to life with the USMCA. This is yet another attempt to get the United States into an entangling alliance, much like the one the UK is trying to get out of. Creating a North American Union has been a top priority for those advocating a New World Order. But because of the successful work that the John Birch Society has done, America has stayed out of this global governance, and we are once again leading the fight to protect American liberty and independence by creating pressure in Congress to stop the USMCA. As we've stated before, please call your representative, your senators, and President Trump and tell them to stop the USMCA and to get us out of NAFTA. Links to resources to help you are in the description. As President Thomas Jefferson once said, "Peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none." If we want to be a free and prosperous nation, we need to remain an independent one. Until next time, take care and God bless.